So recently I got my Korean driver's license and I've been driving around Korea in my close friend's car. And let me tell you, it is completely different than driving around in Europe and in Mexico. And then it got me thinking a little bit, like, why don't I share the how to get your Korean driver's license experience here in South Korea, and it's only 3 steps. So let's go ahead and start this video. I went to so many different websites, and so many different websites said so many different things. But I'm glad I had my close friend to help me out in the process. I do want to share to you before you get to step 3. Now the reason why I'm sharing this warning is because there is a list of countries that if you go to the website, it says that South Korea works with, where you do not have to take a physical driving test. Not just the one test that I'm going to tell you about later, but like an actual car test or a written exam. If you go to the website and you look under the AC, you click AC, it's going to break it down by country. They're going to give you a list of 21 states from the United States. If you are from one of those 21 states, you do not have to take a physical driving test. You do not have to take an oral exam. So that's the one thing I want to tell you to check before you start this process. So you need 4 things in order to get your Korean driver's license. You need your state ID. You need your passport. You'll also need an apostille, which basically is a copy of your state ID from the US Embassy, and you need a certificate of entry. And I'm going to tell you how to get all those things right here in this video. Oh, you know, there's one other thing you need, and I can't believe I almost forgot this. You need your photo. You need some square photos of yourself. Now you can get them. If you go to the location I went to, right outside the building, there are some people that literally will take your picture right there. Cost you about 10,000 won, and you get about 4 to 6 copies. Now, one thing I am going to share with you, you can do all of this literally in one day. You could probably do it in about 6 or 7 hours, you know, if you add in traffic. So the first thing that you need to do, if you're from the United States, you should definitely go ahead and make an appointment at the US Embassy. Now, the first warning I'm going to tell you at the US Embassy is that it's going to cost you 50 American dollars or 70,000 won. That's going to be the most expensive thing that you pay for in this entire process, is to get your driver's license apostille. The second step that you need to follow in this process would be to visit an immigration office, or you can visit a community center. Now, I would visit a community center, and the reason why is because the immigration line can be really, really long, and you also have to make another appointment for that. So I would like scratch that unless you want to make this process much longer. Now, I had my friend to help me out who he could also translate for me, but if you don't, I would still encourage going to the community center. There you will only pay 2,000 won in order to get a copy of your certificate of entry. The certificate of entry, it's basically a list of how many times you've come in and out of South Korea. That's basically it. Now, the last step in this entire process is to visit a don't want to say it like that, to visit a driver's license testing center. Now, this is probably going to take you the longest, maybe. No, most definitely, because the US Embassy, they move pretty quick. But when it comes down to this driver's license center, there's going to be so many people that you see there. And the line for the foreigner's driver's line, it's really not even that long. But the process that you take is going to be kind of long. After you go ahead and you take a number, and let's say, bam, you're right there, you're at the counter. They're going to ask for your state ID, your ARC card, they're going to ask for your passport, and they're going to ask for the documentation that I just told you about before. From there, they're going to review the information. It'll probably take them about 10 minutes. The one lady that was sitting at the desk, she just kept going leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back. I don't know if she's the one that's approving the information, but she is definitely the person that is working with all the paperwork there. I give them those 5 things. The person at the desk is literally going to give you back some documentation that you just need to fill out. Put your name, first name, email address, your address, and then you'll have to sign a couple things. Once you sign all those documents and you give it back to the person at the counter, they are then going to instruct you to go to the testing center. Now the testing center, it's in the same building. It's probably like to the left. It's really quick test. It's not like a test where you answer A, B, C, or D. It is a simple eye test. It literally takes you about less than 30 seconds just to do the eye test, but you will have to pay 6,000 won in order to take the test. And you have to pay in cash. You cannot pay in credit card, can't use your bank card. You have to pay in cash. So let's say you go ahead, you take the test, and you pass. You have to get back in line and get another number. All right, so you take your test, you have your results, you pass, they've called you, you go up. You go up, you give them your results, and this is where you make your final payment of 10,000 won. The 10,000 won is for the ID itself. The person's gonna tell you like, hey, it takes about 30 to 40 minutes to go ahead and print out your new ID. Now, this is the one warning that I will issue you right here. They are going to take your state ID. They're going to tell you is that if you want your ID back, you have to go back to the state where you have residence just to get another one. So say goodbye to your state ID. So I no longer have mine. If I need another one from Maryland, I have to go back to Maryland just to get one. And that's really it. After you wait the 30 minutes, you can walk right back in. You don't have to wait in line. Go right back to the counter where you were at. Like, hey, can I have my ID? They will give you your ID, and that's gonna be it after that. I hope you enjoyed the whole process or just having it, because it'll be much easier for you to do things like get on a scooter. Because for those who do not live here, who don't know, you need to have a Korean driver's license in order to ride one of the public scooters. Also, you can rent a car without having an international driver's license. So this process really helps me out, because I do want to use one of the scooters to get to work instead of walking to work. And someday in the future, I might actually rent a car here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you are not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and I can't wait to see you guys next time in the next video.